Hey guys, it's John. My glasses are gone because it's so freaking cold that when I took them off today to put on my face mask, they actually broke. In today's John's Breakfast Club, I want to answer some questions regarding ironing because, as some of you might know, I do have some ironing tutorials on YouTube and I haven't really checked into them for a couple of 3, 4, 5, 6 years maybe. And I do have some pressing comments there, so today I want to address those and give them a conclusive answer. So the first comment is from Mr., Miss or Mrs. BS. 4 years ago, Mr., Mrs. or Miss BS posted, "My shirts don't stay on the board like that. It tries to slide off and get away. Naughty shirt." And my reply to that comment is, yes, your shirt is very naughty. So the next comment is from Cas Jim. I feel it should be Jim Cas, but who am I to say? Cas Jim posted this 5 years ago and his comment is, "What brand is that iron? Do you recommend any specific irons? Thank you for the video!" Exclamation mark. Yes, I do recommend an iron and I can tell you what mark the iron in the video was and what mark of iron I use now. In the video, I think I used a Philips Azure iron, which is the less sucky of regular irons, but it is sucky nonetheless. Now I use a Revanta iron, I'll show you. So currently, this is the iron I'm using. This is Revanta iron. The thing about this iron is, well, it looks kind of weird, but it has a built-in steam generator, unlike it's huffing and puffing because I just used it. Unlike other irons, the Revanta iron here has a steam generator. Instead of just dripping the water from the chamber here onto the sole plate to generate steam, it actually pumps it back here into a steam generator, which generates steam, and then it directs that steam out through the sole plate. And this has two big advantages. You have to understand that everything I say now is just, you have to take it with a grain of salt because I'm not sure if this is true. I'm just assuming it is this way. Now, when you have a steam generator in your iron, the sole plate doesn't need to be as hot, and that's a huge advantage. In regular irons, you need a super hot sole plate to help evaporate and create the steam when the water from the chamber here drips onto the sole plate. But since this iron has a steam generator back here, which is the part that produces the steam, the sole plate doesn't have to be that warm because by the time the steam reaches the sole plate, it's already steam. This is of course very beneficial because it prevents your iron from scorching your garments since it has a lower temperature. So that's the first thing. The second thing about having the steam being produced in a different part of the iron than on the actual sole plate itself is that it minimizes the chances of dripping. And that's like a pet peeve of mine when I'm ironing shirt, is dripping. Knock on wood, this iron, I don't think I've experienced this iron dripping one single time, and I've used the hell out of it. So to Mr. Cas Jim, or Jim Cas as I would say, to Mr. Cas Jim's 5-year-old comment, I would say, what brand of iron is that? I used to wear a Philips Azure iron. Now I use the Revanta iron. This is called Steam Force and it's made in Germany. And to back up my answer to Cas Jim's comment, a guy named Sean Anderson wrote 5 years ago that he also recommends the Revanta iron like I do now. However, Target carries Revanta, but the version they have are crappy, says Sean Anderson. We don't have Target here. Do you have Target in the US anymore? I'm sorry, this is so overdue. Anyways, buy the Revanta iron, don't buy it at Target because their Revanta models are crappy, according to Sean Anderson. L. Parker, he wrote 2 years ago, "I don't think you should crease the cuffs. At least that's the way I was taught." Backstory, in the video How to Iron Shirts, I showed that you could press the cuffs to create this crease Of course, that was silly of me. You should never do that. You should iron them flat. I don't know what I was thinking. The conclusion is, of course, that you shouldn't listen to anything I say. You shouldn't even listen to this video. You should listen to the video by Al Parker. So Al Parker, if you haven't how to iron shirt video, I would love to see it because clearly you know more about this than I do. Kyle Francis Atienza wrote to me 1 year ago in the comment field, and he says, living alone now, so I have to iron my shirt, smiley. I'm pretty lazy, laughing out loud. Yeah, perfect. Well, if you're lazy, you're gonna love my latest how to iron shirt video. That was sort of like a follow-up to this very like pretentious video. So my follow-up how to iron shirts video, I show you 5 ways to iron your shirt, like to get away with as little ironing as possible. TDLR, I'm not sure what TDLR stands for, but it's sort of like, this is the point of the video, only iron what's visible. So today, before this video, I only iron my front cuffs and collar of this shirt because that's the only part that's visible. The back is wrinkly as heck. So, thank you for that, Kyle Francis Atienza. Good luck on living alone and being lazy, laughing out loud. SP wrote to me 3 years ago in the comment field, and he says, you skipped the yoke of the shirt. Yes, I did. I don't think I knew the yoke was a thing back then when I created that video, like 5-6 years ago. Now, of course, I do, and let me show you some B-roll of how to actually iron the yoke of the shirt. And by the way, if I iron the yoke of the shirt, which I only do when I'm not wearing anything over my shirt because I only iron the parts of my shirt that's visible. So if I'm not wearing anything over my shirt, I iron the yoke, and I always iron the yoke before I iron anything else. And this is how I iron the yoke. Okay, so let me show you real quick how you iron the yoke of your shirt. Let me just plug my iron in here. And you simply slide the shoulder over like this. It's quite easy actually. You slide your iron over like this. And you iron the yoke. Then you flip it around, thread the other shoulder onto the ironing board, and iron that yoke. So thank you very much for that comment and that reminder of ironing the yoke. Yes, it's very important, especially if your shirt is visible. And there we are. Next comment. So the next comment is from a hard to pronounce name. I'm sorry if I'm butchering it. It's Subantach Yadav. He wrote to me 3 years ago and he commented how to fold properly a shirt. That's an excellent question, Mr. Yadav. One which I do not have an answer to. I never really fold my shirts. I keep them hanging on a clothes hanger, and if I bring them along to a hotel, I always iron them at the hotel with the hotel iron. So yeah, sorry I can't help you there. That was all for this Q&A for a follow-up for how to iron shirts. If you have any more questions, of course, feel free to head over to my Facebook group, Effective and Sustainable Style. That's where I communicate with my followers. That's also where I pre-release content before anywhere else. So yeah, check out Effective and Sustainable Style Facebook group on Facebook, of course. I'm John Bolmore, a style coach for professional communicators, and I'll see you in the next one.